In a world where even the smallest disagreements can lead to arguments, violence, and even death, two brothers tackle the difficult subjects. This podcast is not just about dissecting topics from two different perspectives. It's also about how to have conversations on difficult topics while avoiding the urge to tear someone's head off and vomit down the bloody stump of their neck.
Hello, welcome to Brother versus Brother. In this category of posts, I'm going to take a look at real life occurrences of some of the topics that we cover in this podcast and in these videos, to see how the subject is being handled in the real world. And in one of the earlier conversations, actually, I think there were two conversations, we spent some time talking about the media and bias within the media. I often will hold up the Washington Post as an example of holding themselves to a higher standard, trying to maintain an unbiased perspective. And in this post here, I want to show you an example of them not adhering to those standards quite as well as they should. And so in this will work best as a video. And so I would suggest checking it out on YouTube. I will post some of the images into the web page so that you can, if you're not watching the video, you can at least see what it is that I'm referring to. In the screenshot that you are seeing right here, if you're looking at the video, you'll see a headline from the Washington Post. And the headline, the important portions of the headline is Senate Republicans voting against $13.6 billion aid for the Ukraine. And the reason why this one was interesting to me, why I wanted to look at it, was because the same day that I saw this article, I also saw a bunch of articles about Republicans and government demanding that Biden do more to assist the Ukraine. And I began thinking, why is it that I'm seeing both demands for more aid and then the Republicans voting against aid? It didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I picked an article, this article, Washington Post, which generally I trust to understand a little bit more about what is going on in this situation. Read the article. What's important in this article, if we go on to the body of the article, is down here. We see a little bit of text. It's about maybe a third of the way into the article, a couple paragraphs in. And what's important here is this section: 31 Republicans voting against a sweeping $1.5 trillion spending bill to fund government agencies and departments through the remainder of the fiscal year, a bill that also included $13.6 billion in assistance for the Ukraine. So right there, we're seeing it's a little more nuanced than what the headline would have you believe. It's not that the Republicans are voting against solely aid to the Ukraine. They're voting against a package. And then we go a little bit further to the next paragraph, and we have a quote from one of those Republicans that is voting against this package. Scott, casting a no vote, assailed the overall spending bill as wasteful, arguing that it was filled with lawmakers' pet projects. It makes my blood boil, he said. All right, go back to the headline. Senate Republicans voting against $13.6 billion for the Ukraine. That's really distorting reality in order to push your own agenda. And I got to say, Washington Post, I am not impressed with your unbiased reporting in this particular situation. I hope that you can do better in the future. And to everyone else watching, we need to be able to hold the people that are providing us with information to a pretty strict standard. If I hadn't bothered to check, if I had just assumed it's the Washington Post, they don't lie. They try and present an unbiased information. Well, here's an example where they didn't. So always verify, always ensure that there perhaps isn't more to the story. I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.
We hope you learned something in this episode of Brother versus Brother, a podcast about difficult conversations. We also hope that you enjoyed it enough to subscribe to the podcast. You can help us by spreading the word. Share this episode on your favorite social media so that others will have an opportunity to experience it as well. You can also support us by donating through Patreon. This information and more can be found on our website, broconvo.com, and on our various social media accounts. Thank you.